Hey guys, and welcome to another one of these videos. It's me, Nick. I still don't have a better intro than that. But basically, this video is going to be is Matchday 2. I am playing Jose. He used Borussia Dortmund. It was in his stadium, the Signal Iduna Park. I used Atletico Madrid again. So, yeah, we got our match done. This is Matchday 2. There will be a separate video for match day 2 talking about the results and stuff. Something new, talking about all the results, not just my own. So there's going to be another one of my post-match analysis, and then later on I will record myself, and I will talk about the results from match day, the table, and like the results and what happened. And so basically, yeah, you'll have that to look forward to. It'll give my preview for match day 3, what I think might happen, and what I expect to happen in those three, or match day 3, and then match day 2 I'll talk about what surprised me, what didn't, what might have changed the whole complexion of how I felt about someone, because there was one matchup that did definitely do that for me. But yeah, so this is my video, this is my match. It was against Jose. It was Dortmund versus Atletico, and so we didn't, since we're not as good of friends, we didn't talk too much to each other about tactics and whatnot. But I had the same setup, the 4-4-2. This will be my first time seeing what he did, and I'll talk about what worked with it and what didn't, and what, in case he's listening to this, what he might want to improve. I think it. Shoot, I kind of have to skip ahead. Okay, yeah, so we're in this matchup at this point. Dome, we're talking to each other. You guys can't hear me again because for some reason, I don't know if it's because he didn't invite me to the broadcast or because my mic just sucks. Because again, I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Again, use these headphones. The mic is, I either had to have it like all the way right here to where it muffled my voice, or I had it hanging down and it didn't catch any sound. So that's what happened. So at this point, we're just talking about like, is the stream working? What might happen in the stream? The usual, as you do. This will be my first time seeing his tactics. You guys already know mine. I told you guys in the last video, nothing changed with this one until I used Boss or Napoli, which are my secondary and tertiary teams. The tactics won't change. So he used a 4-4-1-1. Well, 4-4-1-1 attack with the center forward, Holland strike. Holland center forward. He dropped Holland for Brandt. Okay. Creative. Okay, so I'll pause it here and I'll talk about his tactics and what he switched out and what did or did not work. Okay, so he changed pressure on every touch, depth, lowered the depth and the width, fast build up, width kept the same, plays in the box he lowered, corners he lowered. Okay, I will talk about this matchup now. Alright, let me get into it. Okay, so we can see his team. So, personally, I did not like that Homos at the back. Homos at the back killed him. You can see at the start, Homos got destroyed over and over. I think it was a very sturdily built team. I think I would have either put Piszczek at center back, or I would have put Chan at center back and get like a midfielder. I don't know what other options Dortmund have. Dahoud, I guess, maybe might have worked. That could have worked, but he's not that good on this game. But I don't think I would have played. I might have played Homos at midfield, and then I would have played someone else at center back or something like that, or just altogether just drop Homos. So my thoughts on that is Homos did not work in this team. Neither did Sancho and Hazard, Brandt and Royce as an attack didn't really work out. Witsel got the goal. So I think that overall, the depth and the width under the defense did not work out. The width, that being at 3 bars, meant that I could just abuse the wings if I wanted. It was a very narrow attack, or a very narrow defense, so that means I could just get the wing play. Even though I don't have the best wings, I did use them a lot, again, like in the first game. And the depth being at 3 meant that the team was, even though it was because the players in the box were like a max height, the depth actually didn't matter, and it basically meant that he had like like 7 depth instead of like the 3 that he had. So it ended up being very narrow and very high up the pitch. So it ended up, the attack itself, I wouldn't have done that attack that high, and I wouldn't have done the depth that low. I would have put attack players in the box at like 5, just so the depth actually takes into effect that you feel like you're not going to get countered every time. And as for the attack, I think Royce didn't do much this game. I think you have to put him on either him and Brent on getting behind, or Brent on false 9 or something like that. And you can see he didn't do any instructions, not that I could tell. So I think that Sancho and Hazard have to be on getting behind. Hazard on basic defense. Sancho get forward, stay wide. Hazard free roam, or cut inside, or free roam, and then all that stuff. I think Bryant has to be on false 9, stay forward. Royce has to be stay forward, getting behind. Or if you want to switch them, or if you want to like have them basically switch in game, to where even though Royce says he's a striker, he'll actually place him forward and Bryant will play striker. I'll put Bryant on stay forward, get him behind, and I'll have Royce on false 9, stay forward, which means Royce will now drag back my Jimenez and Felipe because they are set to mark him, and then Bryant can take it in the space. And I'd put Witsel and Chan. Witsel probably had like balance, same with Chan, but they're both on stay on the edge of the box and cover center. And then I've had both Schultz on stay back, and then Hakimi on balanced overlap. Schultz overlap as well, but just stay back. And Hakimi on balanced attack. So that's what I would have changed his tactics. I think his tactics kind of contradicted themselves, especially the players in the box. So, Jose, if you're listening to this, don't put the players in the box at like 8 depth. Put it like 5 or 6 to at least have some attack. And if you're going to do the depth at 3, you better not have the attack that high. Hold up. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, we're back. Okay, I had to message the guy who I'm playing on Matchday 3. More on that later. I'll talk about the Matchday 3 matchups in my Matchday 2 recap and my Matchday 3 preview. And I'll be doing these for the 20-ish matchups that are headed for now. So, basically, let's just get into the game, because I think all the tactics are said and what worked beforehand has been said, what should have been changed, all that stuff. So, let's get into the match, and let's see. I think I made like a couple of changes. We were talking to each other about like, are you nervous, and like, do you think that you could finish the job? Okay, I skipped a little bit too far ahead. So get into the match. I'm just analyzing this. You can see me talk to him. You can't hear me in the stream. My mic just sucks, or he just didn't invite me to the broadcast. So I don't think you can hear me in this case. But anyhow, he starts in the attack. It was great defense by me because I read it. Poor pass. I shouldn't have tried that. I mean, yes, it was a good idea, but I should have just pressed X instead of the through ball, and so it got intercepted and he created a chance early on. But Koke read it well again. It didn't really work, but again, there's homos, and see, now you see why the players in the box thing doesn't help. He has like one person back. He read it, but unfortunately he got through, and it was an easy finish for Frelish, and just like that, 6 minutes in, it's 1-0. I mean, it was well taken. As I said, it was a poor. It should have been saved when you look at the replay, but it was an easy finish. It should never have been. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been close enough to the keeper where it was saved, but it should always be a goal. If that makes sense. Like that scenario should always be a goal. And at this point, I was like, "Dang, Jose, you're flopping over the place." See, again, 1 depth. The 3 depth doesn't really take an effect because his team is pressing so high up the pitch that it doesn't really look. See, look, everyone's pressing up. It's not. Oh. It's not a good idea to have that depth on, you know? So, again, he kept getting counterattacked. Again, the width does not help. It always gives me a chance to get through. Luckily enough, he has Scholes and Hakimi, who are both fast, and Scholes, in his case, is very strong. But, good playing so far right now. There's not making the smart decisions, unlike with that Adonijah's game. Fortunately, that was just a poor pass. I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Tackle Sancho as he tried the rainbow flick, and great pass right here. Not a great recovery, but should be a goal. 1,000,000,000%. And I got punished later on, I think you'll see. Sorry. Okay, yeah, this is his goal, I think. It was a perfect through ball. Okay, let me rewind it so you can see how it worked it up and what he did right here. So he found the space here. He found where, look, I'm moving in to adjust it. He read that I was going to do that, and then he went long instead of short, and it was a great finish. Nothing I could do about that, and it was a well taken goal, and wow, it's back to 1-1, you know. Uh, so again, smart playing right here. Uh, it was bad. It was a good opening that if I got the ball through would have been a 1v1 basically. So chance created. Jose looked like he was recovering from the early setback, and then again to depth. The depth does not really do anything in this case because he has so many players forward. Look, and his width doesn't help because he's very narrow. So if I wanted to, I could have just built it on the edge, and I didn't. But unfortunately for him, it was a very nice, well taken goal. Take a look back at that so we can see how I worked it up. A drag back got me my space. Calm ball should have been intercepted there, but it was a great pass. I found the space. I passed into the space, and Morata's always going to score. And I hit him with the Sergeant Abri. I didn't really do that celebration. I just pressed B and it did a random celebration. That's the one it chose. But Sergeant Abri against Dortmund. So that was it was a nice finish. It should never have been saved. I mean, it was a good shot. And just like that, it's 2-1. And so now Jose's on the attack here. Very predictable. I read it. I tackled him. Morata, Failish. Again, I tried chip. Not a good idea in that scenario, but I got the tackle back because he had a poor touch. Again, good read. Terrible passing, but good composure, if that makes sense. He didn't panic in that. So now he's doing very well at this point. Royce dropping back, makes a pull pass. A little bit of lag there. Carrasco, poor marking. Failish stops, turns. Carrasco, poor touch. And it lost a chance. And now he's on the counter attack. Again, look at how many players are bombing forward. If this attack works well, it works well. But I think that was Bryant that lost the ball. And again, no width. So that means I'm free to go wide. And then once he does go wide, it comes narrow. And then Morata, excellent save right there. I can't say anything else, but that was an excellent save. It was poor defending, but it was a great save. And Berkey stepped up when he needed to. It was a fingertip save. It was a camera save if you want to. But 33 minutes in, it's still 1-2. And a decent chance with a header, but unfortunately heading on this game is broken, so it missed. So yeah, there we go. Again, Brandt or Royce or whoever it is, never going to win the header. Holland might have, but they're not going to. Jimenez has 90 in every physical department apart from stamina, so he's obviously going to win the header. Good move there, and good idea, and I don't know what my keeper is doing there. Could have been a half chance there. It'd have been a better reaction. Again, poor decision by me, poor composure, but I got out of it, got lucky. Sometimes in this game, you do need luck to get through this. I will be the first to admit. And now at this point, I'm doing calm passing football. I noticed that there's so much space here out in the white. Because if you watch my game, or if you look at how my defense is set up, there's not really space anywhere. I perfectly set it up to, yes, it's a 4-4-2 and there's supposed to be no space in between the lines, but I set it up to where I state there's no space to tinky pass, you know? See, look, it's like, it's wide enough that I'll mark the wingers, but it's not wide enough that, or it's not narrow enough that he can just roam through the center, you know? And then this is a perfectly passed ball, and I'm going to take a replay because I think I skipped this as well. Again, as I'm talking about my defensive setup, look, this is perfect defense to offense. 2, 3, 4, kind of questionable. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then bang, Saul. Now he's, I think, my leading scorer at this point. I think Failish and him are 1 and 2. Saul, big man for the big occasion, stepped up on both match days and he got a goal. Very important, very clean, crisp passing. Every attacker touched the ball except Carrasco. So I think that's very good, and that's always what you want to do. So now we're at the 45th minute. He has a counter, he has a chance. 45th minute kickoff. Good decision there. Good chop. Unfortunately, poor execution. Sancho should never win the header. All Black gets the ball. It's never going to be on goal. Never going to threaten him with that header from Sancho. and then another chance, and it was a very well placed ball. And this is what I mean. The width killed him. It was very narrow, so I could just run free all day. Another drag back, another drag back. Found Morata, took a touch, and then bang, right into the corner. Look at the timestamp, 4 minutes. Yes, I had to counterattack late on, but it was a perfect play by the ref. I mean, if he had blown the whistle there, it would have been stupid, but I had held the ball for a bit, and it was just a banging finish by Morata. And now he becomes my top scorer with 2 goals. So, or was it 2 or 3? No, it was 2 goals. I think. Was it 4-2? I don't think Morata had a hat trick. So, well, yeah, Morata has had a hat trick. But so my top scorers, only 3 people have scored my 6 goals at this point. So I'm very nervous on that because Matchday 3, I'm gonna need one of the other ones, Correa and Carrasco, to step up. They're gonna have to step up huge. So this could be a very big game. At this point, I was telling him I'm gonna try and skill you as like a joke, but then it backfired. So I decided not to try to do that too much. I mean, I did get into the mind for 15 minutes of trying to skill him, but I didn't really do much. It was a good idea there, but not really a pass that you want to try and do in FIFA because it's going to get intercepted with center backs as good as Felipe and Jimenez. So, Koke on the ball. At this point, I'm just looking for the space. I find the space. Quick, crisp passing. And took a touch. Unfortunately, not a good idea, but I think I probably would have lost the ball anyways unless I set it back. Which that could be something I could work on, is setting it back to the center backs if I lose ball instead of doing stuff like that. Or lose the ball. Again, creative idea, but it's too predictable at that point. Again, too predictable. Morata, I was trying to get another goal, but at this point it's just scrappy gameplay, you know. So there's nothing really much happening here. It's just poor decision making, predictable stuff, you know. The usual FIFA stuff. So I think, what was that for? Was that offside? Yeah, that was for offside. This decent-ish passing, but again, step overs were very useful for this for Jose. Created a decent chance there. Defo could have scored that if he had either taken a touch and then chested it down or something like that. But headers are broken on this game. He's never going to score a header. So he's still working away. Gets a deflection, I think that is, for the corner, and so now I'm moving the keeper out to try and stop this stuff. He had an open header, but unfortunately it was a poor header, and it hit Schultz, who was offside. So at this point, okay, so I'll talk about myself, what I did, you know. And so I subbed out Carrasco and Angel Correa, as well as Felipe for Hermoso. I subbed out Felipe for Hermoso, Partey for Correa, and I put Partey on free roam and then come back on defense, which Correa was on stay wide and then basic defense. So I made it basically to where I had an extra center midfielder, and I sacrificed that left-hand flank. So, and then for the left mid, I put Lemar for Carrasco, and I put him on stay forward. Actually, no, I put him on basic defense support. Was it basic or comeback? It was one of the two. Anyhow, so I put him on 1 of 2. That was a poor pass. And basically what I wanted to do is win the game, basically. Hold the result. It was a good idea again. Probably should have done it like a loft pass or a chip through ball. 1 of the 2, you know. Holland gets his first chance. Should have been its goal. I mean, he should have shot it earlier, I think. But instead of risking him taking a touch, but nothing you can do now. So I got out of that game. Could have gotten him right back into the game. Lemar, again, poor, predictable play by me. I should definitely work on that. In hindsight, it's always great, but hindsight's always 50-50. That's why it's in hindsight, because you're looking back and you're singing, what did I do Pippin? Again, this is what I mean. The width killed him, and the players in the box killed him. I could have taken a shot there, took a touch, did a drag back, took a touch, kept shooting. At that point, I wanted to do a drag back. So I wasted 3 good opportunities. I could have shot with Lemar, or I could have done something else, you know. But again, poor predictable play. Despite the good defensive work, again, despite Trippier catching up to Brandt, I think there's a little bit of lag there in the game, or I don't know if that's just the stream. But Falish, was that Saul Carrasco, and then just an easy finish to make it 5-1. And it was a dominant game throughout. I didn't really feel threatened. I had the music playing. It was just a calm, composed game for me. This is just exactly what I needed. So I'll explain what happened. Basically, his stream cut out for a bit, and then so it cut to where he was down 2-6. So I made it 6-1, and so I think it was Carrasco again. It was a top finish. I hit the bar, and then from that, I think he scored with, is it Holland or was it Brandt? It's one of the two, I think. Or actually, no, it was Royce. And he should have scored here. There was just consolation at this point. But I was very well placed, so even if he got it by the keeper, he wasn't going to score. And then that is that. That is how match day 2 ends. Kind of abrupt here. Sorry, guys. But nothing you can do here. So GG, Jose. Now for me, it's time to focus on my match day 2 video, which I will record right after this. But I think right here, does he show the stats for a second? Yeah, there you go. You could tell it was an easy win. None of his chances were really that good, apart from like 3. And I pretty much bossed the game, and I kind of like wasn't taking it too seriously after the 5th one, because I knew the 4th one he had gotten a chance. I was like, you know what, I gotta get the 5th one just to get extra reassurance. But yes, that is it for match day 2. I win 6-2. I now have a goal difference of, let me think here, 5, with goals scored 8, goals conceded 3. And now, if you'll excuse me, I will pull up the table, and I will talk about match day 2 and preview match day 3 in my next video. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are all safe, and well, see you later.